Hey, it's Caden Brown with the Pats, and listen to Patscast with Chris and Kevin.
That's intercepted. Pantelakis off the boards. Mays 2-on-1. Left side, he centers it, scores! Zach Lancer. Puck is intercepted. Ashton Brown at center. It's leveled by Gordon Carroll. Over the line, Eglin shoots, scores! Chase Eglin and knifes it past the blocker of Jordan Switzer. You got to give Ashton Brown all the credit in the world. He took a massive check to get the puck up the ice. Paranich in the blue line, drives in on the left, centers it in front, what a save! Rebound, scores! You go to the dirty areas and that's where you'll score! It's Zach Moore in front! Now to McNutt at the line. Hamilton across to Brown, he fires, scores! And that is a good goal! What a shot by Caden Brown as he goes off the bar and in! Jonas Wu walks into the middle, hands it off to Pickford, he loads, centers it in front, Pine is down, what a save! Oh my goodness! Wow, one of the greatest saves of the season as Misha Volotowski was robbed! Now Kuzma throws the puck out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone, Pantelakis steals it at the right boards, cuts in front, shoots, scores! Pantelakis stays hot for the Regina Pats. Back at the line, it's Julian Mays. Into the middle, Paranich, a drive, scores! A blast for the line by Matt Paranich as he picks up his 5th goal this season. Wagner blocks his man and levels him to the ice. Huge hit by Aiden Wagner, the 15-year-old, as he knocks down, looked like Trey Johnson in front, and Fawcett shields it, goes across the slot, and the shot is blocked in front. Rebound, up top, Fawcett shoots, scores!
Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's episode 193. It's January 26th. Chris here, Kevin there. How we doing tonight, Kev?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It was one of those weeks where it went from bad to good instead of the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, we knew it was going to be a tough week, and it kind of just started at the bottom and just went up. So.
Oh yeah, that first game. Eek.
Well, yeah.
Eek.
I mean, not too unexpected, really. But yeah, overall, I think can't be too disappointed in this week. I think it is what it is. The team's where it's at, and other teams are where they're at, right? So
I'm glad that first game was just an anomaly, though.
Yeah.
And can't really blame it on the youth because Medicine Hat did score 10 against us once earlier this year. So
yeah, that's the second time. And I mean, they did have their PP1 out late. It's kind of.
And the Pats were also playing with Uncle Ephraim and the kids on defense.
Yeah,
so
right. Literally no Babcock, no Bridgman. But I mean, they had that situation in the next game too, and they had a much better outcome. But yeah,
Medicine Hat and Lethbridge are totally different teams.
Yes, that's for sure. Medicine Hat
one's like the Harlem Globetrotters, the other one's like a sleek team, but they're not to the Harlem Globetrotter level. No, if you know what I mean.
Like they're a good team, but they're not. They're a step behind Medicine Hat, I think.
Medicine Hat's just got the guns, and they're missing guys too.
Exactly. A 7-game series, who knows, right? Things happen in a 7-game series. You never know. It's not like Medicine Hat or Lethbridge doesn't have good players. They've got lots of good players, but like you said, Medicine Hat's just a step ahead. And like you said, okay, so they're out. Basha seems like he's going to be out for at least the regular season and pretty deep into the playoffs. Lidstrom,
question mark all the way around.
He hasn't even, they haven't even talked about him really. Like, so, and then I don't know, those are the two main guys that are missing. But I mean, Basha, what has he got? He's got whatever. Like, he had like 25 goals this year already, right? So, but yeah, I mean, you're looking at that game. And then Pine, I don't know, he like the first 4 goals of the game, like the first period, it was just like none of them were even on him. Like, no, it was just like one was a deflection. It was going 3-4 feet wide and it went off the guy's leg and in. Like, yeah, they get the bounces too on top of their skill. It's just like, oh, I said to myself,
that tends to happen when you got the skill.
Yeah. I said to myself, well, after the first period, I'm like, if they keep it under 12, it's a win, right? And I mean, hey, you got to give them credit. Like, they came back in that second period and put forth an honest effort, right? You know, they win the period, right?
Yeah.
You can't.
And
you
they
can't-
did score 4 on just 17 shots.
I know, right? That's another thing. Like if they could have generated some more offense, maybe they could have chipped in a few more goals. But like 17 shots total, that's pretty
rough.
Yeah, right.
And the fact that Messnet scored 4 on the power play, that hurts even more. But
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. 10 minus 4 is still 6. So
you take those penalties and whatever they're penalties. Penalties a penalty, but Messnet's just so deadly, right? So deadly.
And it wasn't even just from their top line. It was from the Rucks, and Ethan Newton scored and Caden McCann. So it's like,
all the way down the lineup. Yeah. It is what it is. We knew it was gonna. It could be rough, and it was rough. But I mean, you look at it like you said. You bounce back the next night in Lethbridge, and another top team, and like I don't want to say it was a better effort, but they just play better. Like you said, Lethbridge is a different team. It just
they're a big, solid, hard checking team.
Yeah.
Medicine has just a rope-a-dope speed team.
Mm-hmm. I think they're probably more structurally sound, a little more defensive orientated, not a run and gun. But and the Pats were there, right? Like going into the third period, they were tied. Like you can't argue with that.
And they were at that point in time, they're being outshot almost 3-1 as well. So
yeah, and then another good performance by Huey. Like that's
Pine and Huey both those 2 games. Like despite the
10
goals against.
Yeah, I know. Pine still like he made some unreal saves. Like there's half a dozen. He probably should have been goals.
Probably, right? Yeah, for sure.
So, and then you look at the Lethbridge game, 52 shots against. Like you give up 3. One was empty netter, right? So, so 3 on 52. Can't argue with that, right?
Definitely not. No. Kept them in the game. Penalty kill. They stepped up the penalty kill. Killed all 6 against the Hurricanes. So
yeah, with the young defense core too, right? That's huge, right?
and Wagner looked like he actually fit. Like the first game, you didn't see him much. Like it was hard to really tell because it was just Medicine was just rope-a-doping the Pats for a while. Yeah, and then against Lethbridge, you could actually see Wagner out there, and he actually
he laid a big hit,
fit in. Yeah, nice hit.
And then he looked all right out there for the ice time he did get. But yeah, I mean it was just nice to see them bounce back and not just be like, we've got no
fold
chance
the tents totally.
Right. And then
don't need that. We want them to play.
Yeah. And then maybe they took that momentum into the weekend here, right? Against PA. The first period wasn't great in PA, but I think they came out and Brad said that in his post-game comments. He's like, we told him, hey, get your crap together kind of and let's go, right? And they had a much better second period just visually. I mean, they didn't score, but I mean, it was it was a turning point. Like that penalty at the end of the second was rough, right? I was just like, ooh, take the penalty right at the end of the second, and then they give up the goal, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be tough to come back from. Down 2 early in the third. I don't know about this. What were you thinking?
I was like, not again. But hey, they got that 5-on-3, and then they were able to connect. Fawcett got that goal on the second part of the 5-on-3, and then Kuzma got that nice little juicy gift from Fortin and net. So
yeah, and like nice to see a 16-year-old not give up on the play. Like both defensemen for PA gave up on the play.
Yeah, it's almost like the goalie Fortin wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. He was just going to chip it to the side, and
it kind of bounced out. And then Kuzma just was still going to the net, and you got to give him credit, like for not giving up and getting a gift like that. That's huge. But Fortin, man, he made some big saves early in the game.
He did.
That one on Moore, I think it was, he laid his arm down on the goal line. Like, whoa, wow, what a save! Like he was pretty good. He looked pretty good there. But the Pats are able, and then you go to overtime and you kill off the penalty in overtime. Whitehead takes a good penalty. He was going to get burned, and it is what it is. He took the penalty and they killed it, right? And then you get to the shootout.
That worried me. They take that penalty. I'm like,
I know. 4-on-3. That's a tough one to kill off, right? It's all that extra room, and it's. I don't know what the percentages are, but it seems like 4-on-3 is a better chance of scoring than a 5-on-4. But yeah, then you take it to the shootout and some nice skill. Got some hot shooters right now. Pantelakis, Brown, they're pretty hot, and Mays, a nice little move, a nice little goal there for the third goal, deciding goal. So can't argue with that.
Yeah, and the fact that the Pats went 3 for 3 in the shootout,
Yeah,
that's
very
pretty
nice.
impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Showing that the young guys and
That's
the
good.
old guy has some skill.
Yeah. No, there's some skill. You can see it, right? I know on that Fawcett goal, he had a couple good chances in the slot and on that power play, and then when he did score, I know Peranich, he was banging his stick hard to for the one timer.
Fawcett wanted that goal bad. I
Yeah,
think.
he hasn't scored in a while, right? Or
So
not much lately, anyways.
yeah, he got a few opportunities, and he was out there a long time on that power play, and he finally connected. So it was nice to see him finally connect through
Yeah,
there.
it was he had a 4-game goalless streak there, so nice to see him pot another one. He's kind of been a little quiet since coming over. Nothing too crazy. It is what it is. Yeah, what else do you got from this week?
Well, the boys were outshot really rank in the 2 games in Alberta.
Yeah.
46-17 and 52-22, wasn't it? Or 52-20.
Yeah.
And then they bounced back against PA, outshooting them 31-20.
Yeah, like it was
Like night and day shot differences there.
I don't know what was up with PA, like 5 shots a second, 5 in the third, and that was it. So
PA did travel the night before, so I guess that could be a little bit to it.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Saskatoon 6-3 on Friday, then they ended up beating them again on Sunday after losing to the Pats on Saturday, which is funny.
Yeah, that is a little bit. So they've passed Saskatoon now. They're in second, quote unquote, second place in the conference with the seeding, the bye, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Technically, they would be in like 5th. Yeah, they'd be in 5th overall. But yeah, so it's nice for the Pats to get that win off them. That's nice to be able to get a game with a team that's ahead. Well, all the teams are basically ahead of you, but a team that you should have a chance to win. Like, yeah, Mesnat, you can say you want to win that game, but are you really going to win that game?
Good luck.
Yeah, Lethbridge. I mean, I was very pleasantly surprised by that game. Right, like I don't know if Lethbridge was taking them. Taking them easy because they seen what happened in the night before.
They had 52 shots. They didn't take it easy.
No, I guess not. Not when you say that, but yeah, I don't know. It's nice to see that they were able to bounce back, right?
They can compete
yeah.
against these teams,
Yep.
except for Medicine right now.
I mean, they're back here, aren't they? Again, coming up. So we'll get to see them again. And yeah, let's see what happens. Oh no, they're in Mesnat, sorry. Yeah, they're in Mesnat the next game, Feb 15. But yeah, so but yeah, what else you got from this week?
The Medicine's here again on February 28th.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought Medicine was back here, and then I seen the 15th game first. But yeah, so a couple more tough ones coming up in February.
Well, they play a bunch of games against the Alberta guys. So
I know, right? In
it'll
February,
be-
they got that road trip. Red Deer, Edmonton, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
4 and 5. And Medicine Hat's the last game of the road trip.
As much as I want them to win, we all know that we don't want them to win.
Yeah, right. There's that other side to the story. I mean, looking at the standings,
Go ahead.
Looking at the standings, it seems like Seattle wants to win. They're 5 points up on the Pats. Pats do have 2 games in hand. Moose Jaw is behind the Pats by 4 with 2 games played as well, more than the Pats.
Moose Jaw's back by 6.
By 6?
Yeah, they have 26. Pats have 32.
Well, how come it says the Pats have 30 here?
I don't know. You maybe refresh your page.
No, I just opened it today. I just refreshed it. I got 30. 12, 26, 4 and 2 is the standings not updated properly.
No, they have 13 wins.
Okay. So the WHO website is not updated properly. So yeah.
On my end, it is.
Yeah. I know you've got the right
No, I'm looking at the website too. So
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Mine still says 12, 26. But yeah, like you said, that road trip, 4 games, 5 nights through Alberta. It's gonna be tough. So there'll be some losses there. Maybe a 1-goal win in Red Deer.
probably. Oh,
One
but it'll be
goal,
one goal game probably
yeah.
anyway. But
Yeah, that's almost guaranteed. But yeah, like you said, some guys are getting hot. Like Brown, he's been real hot since he's been here. Panalakis, I mean, the guy had 4 career goals before coming to Regina. He's got, what do you say, 8 now since coming. Mays, he's been dishing out some assists. Haven't seen too many goals from him, but he, like I said, he's got that. He's got those hands. He's got those skill set that not many guys have in this league. It seems like Eglund is really coming along. He had a nice breakaway in the PA game. Nice little move. Just couldn't score, but he's come along. Who else have you liked lately?
All the young guys, the 16s, Kuzma, Klaas, and Lanzer, they've all been really good.
Yeah,
in their specific roles.
Yeah, I don't mind Dayton Deschamps on the back end. He's just quietly doing his thing back there. Like he isn't standing out, but he's not standing out in a bad way either, right?
Very much so. Yeah,
he seems to be pretty solid back there. Yeah, so goaltending, like I said, the goaltending has been pretty solid this second half. Huey's come along nicely.
Yeah, rebounded after the first.
It's almost
half,
like the World Junior just was a break for him. Right, whatever funk he was in the first half, he got away from it, and he's come back, and he's been solid. So
he didn't really have much of a chance to play with the young guys up front. It was almost always with the older guys. So
yeah,
maybe the change is good all the way around.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much else. Obviously, not too much news around the league per se. Just look at the standings. Everett's still just kind of rolling out west. Spokane's kind of starting to roll now. Obviously, they got with the Crystal deal. They're kind of hot. But yeah, what else do you got this week there, Kevin?
There's not much else to really chat about, but it was nice to see them rebound from the rough start this week. So hopefully they can keep it similar this next little bit.
Yeah, because coming up you got PA on Wednesday here, and then Friday, Saturday at home, Red Deer and Brandon here. So I mean that's 3 winnable games, right? Be a little
three games that they should be able to compete in. Maybe not winnable, but
I mean PA is going to be a little tougher than PA here, right?
Yeah,
they just have that little extra edge being in PA, and obviously Red Deer's winnable, and Pats have had good success against Brandon this year, right? So
yeah, they've been pretty close games most cases.
3 games that they should be in, right?
Yeah, so. three games that should not be like the 10 goals against or anything like that.
I mean, other than Portland and Medicine Hat, there really hasn't been any blowouts. Like just scanning, the only other ones was in Regina's favor, 8-0 over Seattle, and then they had 7-3 in Brandon. So like there hasn't been any. Oh, there's the Victoria. Yeah, Victoria on that road trip in Kelowna. There we go. So, a couple of the ones on that road trip, but that was a stinky road trip altogether.
Really. Victoria's quietly moved to first place in the BC division.
Yeah, they've been consistent, right? Like they're
just quietly going about their doing their thing.
You know, they had a good end to the last season after the coaching change. They kind of had a good back half. You know, James Patrick, I think he's a pretty solid coach, right? So
yeah,
he comes in. Yeah, they're 7-2-1 in their past 10, right? So that puts them in second place in the West. I mean, they're only 2 points behind Spokane. Like Spokane's getting all the talk and stuff, but Victoria's right there. But yeah. So if that's all you got, should move on to our interview this week. Another quote unquote. I can't even call him a new player. I don't think he's one of the
older new players,
older, longer tenured new players.
Yeah,
he was. I guess he was probably the first one. Really, one of the first ones.
Pretty much, yeah.
Coming in, Caden Brown. I know, an older guy. So sat down with him, had a good chat with him again. Another guy that can, has a little bit of story to talk about, and it's pretty good for talking to him for basically the first time.
A little surprise interruption by Uncle Ephraim.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it in there, but
No, we kind of walked by and check it out, seeing what we were up to. I thought he was
Yeah.
gonna sit in there for a second, but
Could have hooked up another mic, but hey,
yeah,
kind of leered at Caden for a minute and left.
But yeah, so those guys obviously go back to their days in PG. So, but yeah, another pretty good interview. I think they've been going good. Kind of the next thing is starting on these younger guys, these 17s and stuff. Kind of delaying them is probably maybe as long as we can. But I'm sure they'll be okay once we get to them.
Yeah, once they realize that we're not there to poke and prod about the season and stuff like that, just talk about them.
Yeah,
seems like they get more comfortable as the interview goes or as our chat goes. So
yeah, definitely. So I know I interviewed Panalakis post game on what was it, Wednesday, I guess, and he was a little nervous. You could tell just doing the post game interview. So maybe he won't be one right away. Maybe we'll wait on him a bit.
But post game media compared to sitting down and chatting is a little bit different. So
talking about yourself, right?
Yeah,
maybe a little more comfortable that way.
Yeah, because probably never done media stuff like that.
Not a ton
before, because came from Kamloops where he hardly got any points or anything like that. So he probably wasn't really one of the ones they went to for interviews.
Yeah. No, for sure. But anyways, we'll listen to Caden Brown here.
Please welcome on Caden Brown, one of the newest Regina Pats. Welcome, Caden.
Thanks for having me.
First off, Caden, well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Fort St. John, British Columbia, a small town, and lived there till my whole elementary school till grade 6 or whatever, and I ended up moving down to Vancouver to kind of pursue hockey a little bit more, and I ended up playing there from grade 7 to 9 at 1 year at the Seafair Pee Wee and 2 years in the Delta Hockey Academy before I got drafted by the Prince George Cougars and ended up going back up north.
Nice.
So what took your family to Fort St. John?
My dad and my mom, I'm pretty sure they met there. My dad, growing up, he was all over the place. His dad was an RCMP officer, so he was in Alberta and all over BC. So, but when he finished playing hockey, they ended up back up in Fort St. John for work. So that's
I see.
Lots of family up there as well.
Okay, yeah, nice. You have any other siblings?
Yeah, I got a younger sister.
Okay, is she into sports?
No, not so much.
No?
She's just doing school right now.
Nice. So, growing up in northern BC, was hockey pretty much the only sport you focused on, or were you into anything else that you could play up there?
Yeah, I mean, hockey was my life, obviously, but in the summers I was a pretty good ball player, played baseball until I moved to Vancouver. And when I was a little bit younger, I played a little lacrosse and soccer, but I didn't enjoy that as much as baseball. So summers was baseball and winters was obviously hockey.
So when did you strap on the skates for the first time, or do you remember?
I'm pretty sure it was 3 or 4. Yeah, my dad got me into it early, and so
Yeah. So how influential were your parents? Obviously, your dad being a pro player, played in the WHL as well. Did he push you towards hockey, or did he just let you kind of do your thing with hockey, or what was kind of his mindset towards you?
he never like forced me, but he obviously had a big influence on getting me into it. And once I was into it, it was I loved it. So it was not like he was making me do it or anything. So, but yeah, he was huge in it. Obviously, playing the game, it's like it's almost like a little bit of a upper hand on some guys having someone who's been through almost the exact same situations, everything I've been through. Like big one last year, I had my first injury, knock on wood, but I didn't know how to really deal with it, and he's obviously had a lot of stuff go on in his career, so him being able to help me through that was big.
Hey, he was a pretty big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't quite get his size, but
I watched the Pats back then, the Broncos, but I don't remember your dad specifically. I was only 14, so I can't really.
He was a fighter.
I remember a big guy on the team.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who he was.
So there was obviously some pros. Was there any cons? Was he critiquing your game too much maybe sometimes, or a little bit harder on you because he knew the game so well?
Oh, I never well, I'm pretty stubborn, so
Yeah.
like he was big into like helping me out and critiquing it, but when I'm doing stuff well, he's always letting me know. So yeah, like we've gotten into it a few times. Just I'm stubborn, but I mean it's never been bad.
Yeah.
Like it's always been good stuff. Like
That's like a normal parent-kid relationship, right?
no, it's I wouldn't ask him to stop or anything. It's like it's like almost like cheating having a guy like that in the corner.
So have you always played forward?
Yeah.
Any defense or anything like that? Did you ever strap on the pads?
Yeah, back in like novice or whatever, everyone's playing goalie.
You didn't like goal?
Wasn't very good at it. I liked it. I wasn't very good at it.
Pretty much everybody's just like, no, it wasn't a thing, or it wasn't the thing for me, right?
No.
Like just it seems like goalies are goalies, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't get turned into a goalie. It seems.
Yeah, no.
So who was your favorite player growing up? Or players?
Huge Alex Ovechkin fan. Getting to play in the Saddle Dome was pretty cool. The other 2 weeks ago-ish, whatever that was. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I watched my first NHL game there. It was Calgary against Washington, and we were sitting kind of close to the players' bench or like the tunnel there. And I have all my Ovechkin gear on and everything in Calgary, and I ended up getting one of his sticks he broke in that game. It was
awesome.
Yeah, probably
very cool.
That's my coolest thing ever happened to me in my childhood. So I'll never forget that. So I didn't get to play there last year when I was injured, so getting to play there this year was pretty cool.
Nice. So what, the Capitals your favorite team growing up?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah.
So now, who do you look at in the NHL or even in the WHL? Well, maybe to pattern your game or take some parts of their game from.
Yeah, I mean, lots of guys. Oh God. Lots of guys.
Live studio audience here tonight.
We got the pilot over here. No, I like to pick guys like Matthew Tkachuk. I think is a guy I like to model my game after a little bit. Like kind of a modern day power forward, a little bit of a pest, hard to play against. Can put the puck in the net. But guys like him, when I was in Delta, the guys there always told me to watch Braden Shen, so that was a guy I'd watch a little bit. Guys like Nazem Kadri, kind of all those kind of like modern day power forward guys. I would say that's what I like to watch and kind of pick little parts of their game.
So what was your favorite minor hockey memory?
Minor hockey
memories.
memory. Probably winning the John Reed tournament in my first year Bantam with Delta. That was pretty cool. It was probably the biggest tournament that year. We had lost in the finals to the two tournaments earlier in that year and broke through in the big one, so it was pretty exciting. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that one's going on right now, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So you said you played in Fort St. John, and then you moved down to Vancouver to go to Delta. What kind of was that thought process like? Like, did you feel you had to move down there to kind of further your game?
I didn't even I had a really good first year at Pee Wee up in Fort St. John, like points wise, and I didn't even really know what was out there. Never been outside of like double A hockey, so I ended up getting recruited to go play a couple spring hockey tournaments down AAA in Vancouver. Scared out of my mind. I was like, I just want to fit in. Ended up doing really well. Won tournament MVP at my first tournament, and I just had I had guys like, hey, like you got to come down. Like it'll be great for you. And probably the best decision ever was get down there and start playing against some better opponents. I played on a spring team with Connor Bedard there with the Vipers. So
nice.
we had a pretty good team there. You probably already heard all about that, but just like moving down there, getting to play with the better players. I don't think I've ever developed more in a couple year span than like getting down there. So
So what was it like getting drafted by Prince George?
it was pretty cool. Like growing up, I had a summer home in Prince George, so it was almost like a second home to me. I probably had 500 relatives. I'm not even joking. I have little cousins I've never seen in my life. I'm Brown, I'm your cousin. Brown, I'm your cousin. Sitting by the bench, and so it was kind of cool to like
Be close to home.
be close to home, yeah, and just every game I had tons of family there. So when we played there, on the BC road trip, I was a little emotional kind of after the game. Suppose it should be my last regular season game in Prince George, so I was a little emotional, but it was cool kind of getting a score in the last shift there. And yeah.
So, being in PG, the only downfall of being there is the travel, right?
Yeah.
We talked to Ephraim about that. How tough is it? Like, it's a little tough, isn't it?
Depends who you are. I grew up doing way worse road trips, so just think of everything PG did and add 5 hours to it. That's what I had to do every single time. So I was used to it, and the one positive I would say is every morning you're at a hotel and you get to get up and have a routine. You're never sitting on the bus before a game.
Yeah,
so.
no day trips.
Yeah,
right?
so I mean, I actually didn't mind it that much, but it does wear you down for sure sitting on that bus.
So, COVID canceled your 15-year-old season.
Yeah.
What did you do hockey-wise to stay fresh, to stay in shape? Did you play other sports by yourself or whatever you could do with everything being locked down or whatever?
I was super fortunate in COVID I was actually up in PG. Talking with the Cougars and like their management and stuff and coaches, we made a decision to play my 15-year-old year in like the Caribou program up there, as I'd be able to get in practices and if there's injuries, some games and stuff. So I was up there, and honestly, is one of the places that I would say skated the most in probably all of Canada. Like I skated 3-4 times a week. Just going to the gym with the trainer. Like I don't know how they worked it all out, but we were able to. I was pretty fortunate to get on the ice as much as I did. It's probably the most I've ever practiced in a season because there's no games. So we just practiced almost every single day. We had the school program. We'd have like team practice 3 or 4 times, and then every second day we had school ice. So we just go out and do skills with the school coaches, and yeah, I was super fortunate.
So then the next season you make the jump to the WHL. So you play U15 at Delta, you miss a season, and then you jump right into the WHL and you play the full season. How was that? Like,
it was tough to get back into games, especially like my last games being I played a couple with the midget team in like October, I believe.
Okay.
But like my last season being a Bantam season and jumping into a full WHL season, that was super tough. I definitely came out of the gates a little slow, kind of getting caught up to speed. But as the season went on, I felt like I got better and better and started to work my way up the lineup and get trust with the coaches. And that's really all you can ask for as a 16-year-old.
how do you think that season went as a whole for you?
It was a good learning season. We battled the last week, beat the number 1 seed team to make into the playoffs. They had all their guys in the lineup. That was a huge game. I'll never forget that one to get into playoffs. So a lot of learning was done that year that I think that I can apply to help the young guys here as they're going through a 16-year-old season or even a 17-year-old rookie season.
What was your welcome to the WHL moment?
Stitches in my second shift with a visor ever. Yep. That was my welcome to the WHL moment.
High stick?
I finished my check as the guy was kind of making a pass, and I got his butt end right to the lip. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wants to wear a visor.
Yeah.
But they're the downfalls, right?
Yeah.
So then you spend 2 seasons there, and then you get traded to Everett. How was that tough leaving quote unquote home and going down to Everett?
Yeah, it was tough, but I was obviously super excited to get started with something new and new opportunity. And with Everett, it was great. I had a great start to the year, as playing well, and ended up getting hurt like my 11th game and missed 4 months. So that was I ended up playing the last half, or not even the last half, last third of the season. But it just wasn't the same. I had like I major ankle surgery, so it was kind of my thing this summer to get back up to fully healthy there, and I'm feeling way better. So.
What was it like playing in the Everett building with the crowds, the cowbells and stuff?
Yeah, it's not hard to get up in there. I believe our average was 6,000 my full season there. So, yeah, those cowbells, they get you fired up really quick.
The American crowds are a little different, hey?
Yeah, a lot different for sure. It's less about hockey, more about the partying, but
Yeah, definitely. There's less armchair GMs down there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So then you get traded again to Regina. What were your kind of thoughts coming out to the prairies now, maybe away from really far away now?
Never been out here besides I went to Winnipeg for a tournament, so I didn't realize how flat it was. But and also cold. Like we get minus 40 up in PG, but that wind doesn't whip around like it does here. So.
Okay.
Got a few trees and mountains up that way?
Yeah,
to block
mixed
that
up a
wind,
little
right?
bit. But no, it's been good. I think I've adapted really well to it, and I've enjoyed it so far.
You've kind of taken on, like you said, a leadership role now. It's a really young team.
Yeah.
I think the youngest team I've seen in a long, long
It's a
time.
very young team.
So what are your kind of thoughts there, like coming into this situation?
Yeah, I feel like I've embraced it really well, and kind of take my time to build relationships with the young guys and make them feel comfortable. Like I know, like when I was 16 or 17, when guys would go their way to talk with me or ask if I wanted to do something, and they were a little bit older, it'd make my day. So kind of hanging out with the young guys and making sure they're included in everything has been huge. And you know, we have a lot of good leaders here. Like Ephraim McNutt is obviously a great leader. Babs is awesome. Whitey's awesome. He's been here forever. So I think the young guys are all really comfortable, and that's the biggest thing. So
Yeah, it seems like the team as a whole is kind of really taken off here lately. You know,
Yeah.
obviously you don't have the best record, but you're about 500, and you know, the team struggled at the start of the year, and it's even with all the roster flux, it seems the team is kind of coming together, aren't they?
yeah, every game we're getting a little bit better. I mean, when guys are in and out every single, almost, it seemed like every day, but every week there's guys coming, guys leaving.
Yeah, that's
For a few weeks, yeah.
yeah.
It's tough. Like you make friends and then they go, and then you have friends come in, and so everything's changing a little bit. But now we have our team. I think we're getting better and better every game, and that's kind of the goal moving towards the end of the year and into next year, is just build that chemistry throughout the lineup and build relationships that'll last.
So we've seen that you have worn a few different numbers in the Western Hockey League. We assume number 8 is now Ovechkin.
Yeah.
What about 48? Was that just
was-
one of those numbers?
Didn't get a choice on that one. Asked for it to be changed a few times. That was a hard no. So.
It was a rookie camp number kind of thing? Or?
Well, yeah, it was a new guy number, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of got given it, and once they made all my jerseys, they're like, you're not changing it. And then this year they let me change it, but
So now you're 27 with the Pats. Is there any significance to that, or is it just
Nope.
kind of
didn't get to pick that one either.
Didn't
but
get a chance?
But I don't mind it. It's all right.
you to embrace it?
Yeah.
Post hockey, you know, down the line, I know this is sometimes a tough question for young guys, but what could you see
Tough
yourself
question
doing?
for old guys.
That too, yeah. What could you see yourself doing, you know, after hockey?
You know, I have some ideas for sure, but for me, the biggest thing right now is I just want to play hockey for as long as I can, and whatever that might mean, I'm willing to do it. So definitely have some backup plans, but I don't really want to lean on them too much. I want to kind of
Focus on the hockey.
focus and commit myself to the hockey for as long as I can.
Does the NCAA option, does that kind of intrigue you now
Yeah.
that it's an option?
I think everyone's kind of got to look at it and think like what's best for them for sure, and it's a great option for a lot of guys, so it'd be really cool to see what happens in the next few years with that and how that evolves, but it's exciting for sure. Yeah.
So we know you have a billet brother. What are the pros and cons?
With Ephraim?
Yes.
Well, he's probably my best buddy in the whole world, so when he got traded here I was pretty excited. We like to watch some shows and hot tub and listen to some music, but he's definitely a go guy. Sometimes I just want to just relax, and he's like, yeah, let's go do this, let's go do that. And I'm like,
Seems like he's got a lot of hobbies. He likes to do a lot of things,
yeah,
hey?
yeah. No, it's awesome though. He keeps me on my toes.
Are you going to study to be a pilot as well?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but good for him. That's cool.
Yeah.
What are you guys watching?
Right now we're watching Landman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Where else are you into?
Me, like
Yeah.
personally, I do a lot of fishing in the summers, a lot of golf. I'm not great at golf, but I am pretty good at fishing, so I kind of weighs it out there.
Do any ice fishing?
Yeah, I do. We've been out a couple times. Haven't quite found them yet, but we'll see how that goes.
What about musical taste? Are you into any specific kind of music, or are you kind of all over the
A
board?
little bit of everything. I mean, the last couple of years I've gotten more and more into country, but I've always been a rap guy, so I kind of mix it up depending on how I'm feeling. Mornings is usually some country, and then so.
The rap to get heated up for the
Yeah,
game, warmed up for the game?
Yeah.
He said there's always a variety in the dressing room.
Yeah.
I'm here early enough. I hear the music, and
Yeah.
it's all over the place.
I like Nickelback too. I listen to a lot of their music, so yeah.
What kind of car are you driving these days?
Got a Ford F-150.
Nice. There you
Yeah,
go.
2017. That's what I've got.
Tape job. Do you have any superstitions with it? What are you doing?
Depends if I'm playing well or not. If I not playing well, I'll switch it up. Maybe I'll switch the color or how I do it, toe to heel or heel to toe. But no, I'm not super picky. I've been through a lot of tape jobs throughout the years. I find it funny kind of looking back at pictures throughout like my WHL career. I've got different colors, different tape jobs. But, yeah, and I know like Ephraim, for example, I've seen him go months without taping a stick a single time. So
Yeah, he said he was taking some flack from the boys.
yeah, it's the worst. It's not even on a stick half the time. But so
So what's your favorite bus activity? Seeing that you did have a lot of travel from Prince George,
yeah,
what is your favorite bus activity
I'm a
or
big-
activities?
big cards guy, whether it's poker or chase the ace or president, whatever it might be. Like playing cards, getting into it with the boys is like, I don't know, the best way to pass time in my mind, or sleeping. So
Yeah. Coming to Regina, there's 4 jersey options. What do you kind of maybe prefer, the traditionals or the new alternates?
like the ones we wore tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
red
like those.
whites.
I like those
You like
ones.
the
Those ones
alternates?
are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The original ones are pretty classic for sure, but the new ones are pretty sweet, I think.
Do you have any superstitions? Like game day superstitions
Oh.
or
Or just the
routines
routine
or
stuff.
that kind of stuff?
I'm so bad with it. Like I literally have to battle myself not to do them and like convince myself that I'm not gonna play bad. So I try my hardest, but I usually eat around the same time, trying to get away from down to the minute kind of stuff. But I'll eat around the same times. But the big ones is like I'll tape my stick every period, like every intermission after warm up and stuff. All my gear is left to right. I put on my upper half, like if we come in for warm up or for an intermission, I take off my upper half and I put it back on at the 4-minute mark, like just kind of stuff like that. But I could go on forever. When I was a little bit younger, it was getting a little ridiculous, so I've tried to tone
Tone
it down.
back, yeah. All right, you haven't been here long, but what does it mean for you to be a Regina Pad?
I mean, to me, it means to be a good teammate and a good leader. I think what this team needs, being so young, is some guys to step up and lead them. And I think we have guys that have done that, and I think I've done a good job so far. And I just want to keep evolving my relationships with the young guys into, I don't know, just better relationships, I guess, and keep leading them. And I think we're going in the right direction.
All right, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pretty good interview with Caden there. Yeah, kind of guy that is probably going to lead this team next year.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
gonna
on
be
and
one
off
of
the ice.
one of the main guys. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But yeah, if that's all you got, I don't have much else other than that's it. So
Yeah, it was nice shorter podcast this time. So
yeah, not a ton to talk about. We don't want to ramble on about a 10-4 game and
No.
stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's a promising week ahead. I mean, if we want some wins, it's a promising week ahead. If not,
I just want to see good hockey.
Yeah, that's
win
true.
win or lose, I want to just see some good hockey.
That's true.
I don't want
That
to see
is
too many more 10-4 games. If it was like 6-4 or something, that would have been a little bit more palatable.
yeah,
But
but I mean,
it is what
it's
it
less
is.
than that. We knew it was gonna be tough, right?
That's what happens when you have a bunch of young guys and stuff, and against teams that hopefully the Pats are striving to be in a couple years.
Yeah, no, for
So-
sure. You can take that as, hey, that could be us in a couple of years, right?
Exactly.
Maybe. So
Hopefully.
yeah. I mean, like I said, not every one of these guys is going to pan out, but you know, you can see there's some potential, right?
There's lots of potential, lots of skill and stuff there already.
Yeah. So just young. So
I look forward to them being 18 and 19.
yeah, and they're getting lots of ice time, right? Like that's what Miller said. Hey, we got to move on some of these older guys so these young guys can get ice time. And
Exactly.
like we said, the defense core, like they're no Bridgman, no Babcock there. The 17s
It was,
played a ton.
like I said, Uncle Ephraim and the boys were.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is. So yeah, we should get out of
But
here.
it was
and-
nice. It was nice to see Babcock and Bridgman back for the game against PA.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
And-
that helped steady them a little bit in their own zone.
You know, they were Babcock was listed as the third pairing. I mean, Bridgman and Babcock were basically paired up the whole season,
Yeah.
and then but you see in the third period they were out there together.
Yeah, I think they just got him in slow. I don't think they wanted to just throw him in there like, hey, you're playing every second shift or whatever. So
right. But yeah, anyways, so we should get out of here and couple games this week. So we'll see you at the rink.
take her easy.
Here's Jordan Gustafson. He'll feather it off the wall. Back into the Regina zone. Brayard centers it. Glove save by Huey. He robbed Brayden Edwards in front. Duchamp battling with Brayard. In behind the net, Gustafson. Slides it in front. Huey with another marvelous save. Jagger was robbed. Braden Jagger cuts into the Regina zone on the left side. Centers it in front. One-timer. What a save by Huey as he robbed Brayard. Here's Bursick over the line, into the slot, centers it in front. What a save! Holy smokes, Kelton Pine! Oh boy, here they come, a 2-on-1. Doobie walks in, centers it in front. Another great save by Pine! He robs Kovacevic! He stoned him cold! What is going on?
Lots of goals in this shootout after two solid goaltending performances through 60 minutes in overtime.
Now Julian Mays, the left-handed shot with tons of skill. Julian Mays will slowly work it, now speeds up. Score!